It's more of a tourist attraction than anything. It's on Marina Bay Sands, so it's in the middle of Singapore. And it's really important to me because it reminds me and it symbolizes my start as a third culture kid. So the merlion is half fish, half lion, and we always learned in school the lion half represents the strength and the courage that Singapore holds. And it tells the story of how Singapore got its name. So when Prince Naila came to Singapore for the very first time, he saw a lion and he named it Singapura. Singapura translates to Lion City, and then eventually it changed to Singapore. And then the fish bottom represents Singapore's beginning as a very small, humble fishing village called Temasek, which translates to Sea Town. And so when I first moved there, I was really confused and ashamed because my parents didn't explain it very well. They told me, we're just going on a super long vacation. And so I was going to school with a ton of other kids just like me who were just thrown into a new country that they didn't really understand the history of. And so I think it's over a third of Singapore's general population is foreign. And so growing up with so many other expats, you learn so many different traditions and so many other cultures that you kind of adapt into your own. And so we would be celebrating New Dali, Chinese New Year, all of it. And here everyone's for the most part kind of Christian. And so you just have Christmas, Easter, everything like that. But my family tries to keep celebrating all the other things that we learned in Singapore, and we keep the merlion up as just a reminder of where we come from. Our Prime Minister, Lawrence Wong, he tells us that having over 30% of our population being foreign expats, it gives us a sense of having a home for everyone, no matter where you're from. Because a lot of third culture kids are really confused and a lot struggle with identity crisis because we aren't really sure where we're from. It shows us that no matter where we come from, we're welcome here. And I had a good friend, he's from Australia, he'd never been to Australia, he was born in Singapore, and people would ask him where he's from. He'd tell them that he's from Singapore, and people in Australia laughed at him because he's white, he didn't look like he was from Singapore. And so it's just something that you have to be from there and understand it before you can judge. When I moved to the United States, I was really shocked to learn that not a lot of people had heard of what a third culture kid was, and not a lot of people from rural South Dakota even knew what Singapore was. A lot of people thought I moved here from Korea somehow, which they're not really close, but not a lot of people knew where it was or where I was coming from. And so the more I tried to explain or show them pictures, I think I just confused them more. But it really just reminds me that even though I wasn't born in a certain place or I wasn't raised in the United States, I'm still welcome here because my parents are from here, and I'm still welcome in Singapore because that's where I grew up. But a third culture kid is just someone who is raised in a country different than their nationality. And so even now that I'm back in the United States, I'm still not really sure where I'm from.